We were going to be the greatest tag team of all time, no matter what. Now, are we the greatest? That's all subjective in pro wrestling. Are we the most successful? Without a doubt. No other tag team, then, now, forever, will ever be as successful as me and D-Von. It just can't be accomplished anymore.
Irish whip reversed out of the corner. No!
This is like almost the height of me and D-Von's feud when he had first come in. And what I remember about this night is us beating the out of each other.
Literally.
I mean, we went above and beyond the call of duty to really earn the respect of that ECW arena. ECW was the original and true wrestling revolution. There is no discussion. Anybody that wants to have a discussion about that doesn't want to really admit what ECW meant to wrestling. This is not even up for discussion anymore. There is one chair shot in this match where D-Von wraps a chair around my head so well that there's the scars that I still have from it that I super glued back together.
Superplex!
And during that time, the Dudleys was looked upon as a joke. It was never, we were never looked upon to be a real serious tag team.
Bam! Punch me right in my face. This was also the night of the pop-up Bubba Cutter, which to this day, people can't believe that me and D-Von hit so perfectly. And this is, I think this is the pop-up cutter.
Yeah, coming.
Yeah.
I know, I was very nervous. I mean, I'm well over 240 pounds. So for me to get up like that.
This is all D-Von, by the way.
To a diamond cutter, what the hell do you call that? A Bubba Cutter?
Whatever he was lacking, I made up for, and vice versa. Whatever I was lacking, he made up for. So it was a perfect combination, and we both knew that, and no one tried to outdo the other. That's the biggest thing.
The thing that makes myself and D-Von unique is we knew how to share the spotlight. We knew how to take one spotlight and cut it right in half, and knew that together we were stronger than by ourselves. I was at a crossroads because I knew that the people were kind of turning on me, and I knew me and D-Von had a chemistry. So this is how the Dudleys were put together. I showed up to the ECW arena. It was about 5 o'clock at night, and I went up to Paul Heyman in his office, which was a table in the middle of the locker room at the ECW arena. I said, listen, I think if you put me and D-Von together, we're gonna have something. And Paul looked at me and goes, okay, let's try it. And that was it. Every great tag team needs a great finishing move that will go down in history. We started to work on something that we believed we needed to have to make us so unique, so different, that was gonna set us apart from everybody else. And that is called the 3D, the Dudley Death Drop.
Spike Dudley is limp! Oh my God!
Whenever we did that, it was just amazing. The crowd was just in awe because of our timing was just so good.
And this is the first 3D. It is by far the ugliest 3D ever. And we spiked Spike right on his head.
Go get him, Spike! Spike working over D-Von and Bubba Ray Dudley! Spike with drop kick, chair to the face on Bubba!
We always use Spike as a punch bag dummy. Anytime we had a new move to, work on. So even though he was the smallest guy on the roster, he made sure he was like the giant. His nickname was what? The Giant Killer, if I'm not mistaken.
Spike helped get me and D-Von over probably more than anybody else, because anything that we did to Spike worked. And no matter who our smaller brother tagged with, they loved that other person.
Spike was just one tough SOB and proved it every night he got in that ring.
This was just one of those things that were meant to be. Me and D-Von were meant to be together. Me and D-Von were meant to be a team. Me and D-Von were meant to become the most successful tag team of all time.
And if we weren't, we wouldn't have had the chemistry that we had with each other. We wouldn't have been able to do half the things we did in the ring. There was only one time that ever happened when I forgot to get the tables, and he went, D-Von, get the table, and it just caught on. To this day, everywhere we go, it's D-Von, get the table, all because I forgot the spot.
Incoming!
At this point in time, you know, we were coming into our own. We were actually becoming main eventers and not just guys that were opening up the show. You know, going in with the Eliminators and the Gangsters at that time, that was big for us because those were the two top tag teams in ECW at the time that were main eventing and selling out everywhere, and we were keeping up with them.
What made the Eliminators unique were they were a cohesive team. They were a true tag team, and the Eliminators are the first tag team to help get me and D-Von over. And the thing about the Gangsters is violence. Pure violence. When the Gangsters and the Dudleys were in the ring, it was pure violence. The ECW crowd was bloodthirsty. That's what they wanted, and that's what we gave them.
You know, and every night that we went in there with the Gangsters, we were able to take that abuse from New Jack and Mustafa. Not too many guys would have been able to do what we did night after night. You know, whether it was a kendo stick, a vacuum cleaner, the kitchen sink, they threw it at us, we took it and got right back up.
I think we were at the forefront with the company we worked for and the brand of pro wrestling and sports entertainment we gave them. I think it was the company overall that was special. It was like the perfect storm of certain talents, certain veterans, certain homegrowns, certain women, Paul's brains, and the fans.
It was special. It'll never be done again, regardless. The group of people that were in ECW, you just don't have that in companies today. You just don't. I mean, we were willing to give our bodies, our lives on the line for an organization and for a cause like ECW, and that's exactly what we did.
The champs taking the fight to the challengers. Air Sabu connects, vaulting off the back of Mr. Monday Night.
I think RVD and Sabu were kind of like the heart and soul of ECW during that time. They weren't the only ones, but they were kind of like in that picture. They were so over in what they did. And being in the ring with them, you knew something was going to be magical, especially if they went in with the Dudleys. Sabu was a little stiff, you know. he would land on you or punch the hell out of you. He had this 3-punch combination where he would hit you once, hit you a second time, and apologize before the third punch came because he knew he was going to stiff you. And he didn't do it on purpose. That was just the way it was. Oh, sorry, didn't mean that.
And speaking of stiff, here comes a 5-star frog splash, which is the stiffest splash in all of pro wrestling. It hurts. And being on the receiving end of it sucks.
And you, ECW World Tag Team Champions, the Dudley Boyz.
Shane Douglas, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Chris Candido, the triple threat, have cost Sabu and Rob Van Dam the World Tag Team title bout.
There were so many nights that riots happened. People jumping out of the balcony of the Elks Lodge to get to the ring. People taking swings at us. Me and D-Von going over the guardrails at people. This was our thing. We would incite people into a frenzy, stir them up so much. I get pissed off when I go on social media and I see fans go, "Oh, I was there that night. The Dudleys almost started a riot." And I'm like, almost? We did start a riot. I want my credit where credit is due. That was the goal every single night. I mean, just you never knew what was going to happen, but that was the rush. That's why you bought the ticket. Oh my God, we got to go see what the Dudleys are going to do. The first ever tag team tables match in the WWE. Me and D-Von did not invent putting people through tables. But me and D-Von made it cool. People don't chant, "We want ladders." People don't chant, "We want chairs." People chant, "We want tables." And you're looking at the guys who are responsible for that.
Oh! And he ripped the table all right.
This is pure carnage.
People still talk about to this day, 20 to 30 years later, but yet that is the match that out of all the matches we had, that is the one that stands out the most and people can still talk about to this day.
Good Lord!
Years and years later, watching the tables match at the Royal Rumble, I realized how bad I screwed up. The ring steps that we set the table up on are in the wrong direction. The steps should have been faced out. If we go a little bit left, a little bit right, Matt's going through that table and his back is hitting that steel step. Once again, the wrestling god just watching over us, and Matt goes right through the middle.
And the thing about it is, you know, the wrestling gods was watching us through our whole run with these guys. The things that we did were insane, not just in the TLC matches, SmackDown matches, the Raw matches. I mean, it was just totally insane. The stuff that we would come up with to do to entertain the people, but just to make those matches, you know, the greatest tag team matches that people had ever seen. That one I was just like, wow, we really have arrived. You know, we're with the biggest dogs in professional wrestling at that time, and we're main eventing Madison Square Garden. You can't get any better than that. Two guys from New York growing up, going there, watching pro wrestling, idolizing the day that they will be there to be in that position. You can't get any better than that.
Referee's back's turned. Look out, hey, oh! Man, that is a big move here in the early going of this matchup.
I had always dreamt about becoming a tag team champion because I was fans of the British Bulldogs. I was fans of the Hart Foundation. I was a big, big fan of the way that tag team title looked. For me, it was one of the biggest accomplishments in my career because we had finally been able to beat one of the top tag teams in WWE history in Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, who was on fire during that time. We beat them 1, 2, 3, and we won our first WWE tag team title.
The damn Dudleys are the new tag champions.
Man, this is one of the things that I dreamed of doing. We accomplished it. It was there.
Me and D-Von took a shower together with the belts.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
This is the first time the WWE goes, all right, you're our guys now. And by the time we get to our hotel room, the adrenaline is wearing off and we're fried. And what do we have to do the next day? Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
There's almost no time to really take it in and enjoy it. It's not seasonal. There's no off days. There's no nothing.
You know, we didn't complain. We just went out there and did it. And with a smile on our face. We realized that this was a special time and a special moment, and we didn't take it for granted. You know, nothing was ever given to us. We had to go out there and take it. And that's exactly what we did. And we proved it every single night we got in that ring.
You need to be a very special tag team to catch the attention of the WWE, for them to creatively put you in the same spots as singles wrestlers. And very few teams have been able to accomplish that. Proud to say that we're one of them. So this is the beginning of it all. This is, you know, TLC 1. You know, this is another show stealer. We put the gun to the head of the rest of the roster and said, follow that. I think I said out loud, yeah, if we ever do it again, we could call it TLC. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, that was so stupid. Because TLC means tender loving care, and there was no tender loving care in that match. It was absolute carnage.
Yeah.
And I think I just said that on video because I was the one that came up with TLC and I need my royalties on it. No, look at it.
The Dudleys are going to do it. Over the belt in the middle. The Dudleys are going to do it. He's 20 feet in the air.
This is the match that puts it on the map. Here's you climbing the ladder.
Yeah, with Jeff.
With Jeff, and you're about to hang for your life. D-Von is terrified of heights. Terrified. Who would put him in such a position? Who would even suggest that a man who's afraid of heights go up to the highest point and hang there and then just have to drop and fall? Who would suggest this? We needed something for D-Von, and Jeff wanted to hang, so I said, well, D-Von, you go hang with Jeff. He's like, I'm not going up there hanging with Jeff. I go, yeah, you are. Bubba, shut up. No, you have to do it. You're the only one left. Bubba, you know I'm afraid of heights. Okay, you have to. That's basically the way it
what happened. I knew what Bubba and Matt were doing. I knew what everybody else was doing, but I was like, maybe if I don't say anything and I keep quiet, this won't even be, they won't even realize it. And like, no, we need somebody to hang with Jeff. D-Von! We didn't tell anybody about the drop. We didn't want to tell because we didn't want to get ixnayed, so we kept quiet. We didn't say anything. I remember hanging, and Jeff is just kicking. He will not stop. And I looked at him, I said, Jeff, if you ever loved me, if you ever liked me, you would stop kicking me. The ladder is not moved. And Edge goes, what the hell's going on up there? I said, move the damn ladder, man. He said, move the damn ladder. I was like, he won't stop kicking me. And that's what I felt. And I'm just like, I just went, let go. And I just let go. And I was like, God, take me. And that was it. That's exactly what happened. I was petrified. And I remember when it was over, I said, Jeff, I will never hang with you again.
Until the next time he hung with Jeff.
Yeah.
This will adversely affect your sexual drive. D-Von's headbutt right off the top rope.
We had to top what we thought was untoppable. We thought we had already done it all in the triangle ladder match and at TLC 1. So we incorporated more psychology and we made the run-ins mean more.
You already got 6 in there doing what they're doing. Now you're adding 3 more. How complicated can that be? And you're using weapons, tables, ladders, and chairs. I mean, it's unheard of that you can do something like that and everybody still be on the same page.
This was stress. It became difficult at one point. I remember that day. We couldn't come to an agreement on the actual ending sequence of the match. And we had gotten word that nobody wanted to follow us. We were like, you can put us anywhere you want. We're gonna kill. We're gonna destroy. And nobody's gonna be able to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging from the top, trying to get back under that ladder. Jeff moving the ladder underneath him. But Bubba Ray Dudley. Oh, look at Edge. Oh my God! Edge for the 20-foot ladder with a spear on Jeff Hardy.
In my opinion, this is the second most memorable moment in WWE history. You're never gonna top Hulk slamming Andre at WrestleMania 3. That's the most memorable moment of all time. We talk about WrestleMania moments in our industry. Edge spearing Jeff Hardy in midair had never been seen. Nothing like that had ever been seen before. And to me, that's the second greatest WrestleMania moment ever.
We couldn't hear the people's reaction because the building was so big that it drowned the sound.
The sound goes up.
Yeah, and
the sound
so
doesn't come towards us.
And we couldn't hear anything. It was only until we saw it back was when we realized how good it was and that the people were reacting to what we were doing. We just didn't know it when we were in the ring.
I believe that I was the first one to go back through the curtain. And the first person on the other side of that entranceway was Shawn Michaels. And he looks at me and goes, "That's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life." And he hugged me, and I was like, it was an odd feeling to think to yourself that you performed poorly, but having one of the greatest performers of all time, if not the greatest performer of all time, tell you that it was great. The two biggest baby faces in the history of ECW versus the two biggest heels in the history of ECW. Now, we had been out of ECW for 5 years already. We were WWE guys now. You know, we were WWE superstars. But we still knew that there was something to ECW because no matter where you went, those three letters were still being chanted. And I remember being there a half an hour before we go to the ring in the main event. We don't have anything planned. Nothing. And finally, the Sandman is like, you guys want to talk about this? And I looked at Sandman and I go, your entrance and the flaming table is all they're going to remember. What do you want to talk about? Let's just go out there and beat the out of each other and have fun.
Yeah, because that's what we did in ECW. We worked the Sandman and Dreamer for a long time in ECW. We had done this a million times, but we had never been seen on a bigger scale like the WWE. So now we're going to show them what we used to do, and that was the first time that I really felt that ECW came back to life in that particular match, that particular night.
After the match is over, all of the ECW guys are in the ring about to celebrate, and the glass shatters.
The man asked for a beer. Steve Austin is here.
Because for those of you who do not know, Steve Austin was an ECW guy. Before Steve Austin got to the WWE, Stunning Steve Austin debuted on September 23rd, 1995 in Middletown, New York. The same night I debuted in ECW. What a night for the ECW guys that didn't have closure. Me and D-Von had closure. Yeah. Me and D-Von walked away from ECW because the WWE wanted us and we were moving on. But a lot of ECW guys never had the closure that we had.
Even at the end when Bubba and I believe we took Eric Bischoff and threw him out, a lot of fans might not know what that really meant for us because during the time of ECW, WCW was kind of raiding, the locker room and taking guys from us and doing it kind of sneaky, And so that was kind of like a payback for us back to Bischoff. And I love Bischoff to death. He's a very good friend of mine. But that was the feeling that we had back then when we did what we did. And what fitting guys to do it than the Dudley Boyz.
Dudleys, help me out with the 3D.
Eric took an amazing 3D.
Yeah, he did. I was shocked. Absolutely shocked, which, the guy who runs the company and blah, 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 never really stepped foot in the ring, and now all of a sudden he takes a 3D from us and he does it perfect. That was something.
John wouldn't know nothing about no getting jiggy.
Man, we got jiggy all the time in Sweetwater. What the? Oh my God, are you kidding me? No! You gotta be kidding me! It can't be!
When this happened, I was very excited because we had been gone for 10 years. We were working in Japan and doing other organizations. So for us to come back after 10 years was a big deal. I remember Bubba going, listen, when we come out, I'm going to go to the right, you go to the left.
No, I was supposed to go to the left and you were supposed to go to the right.
And I remember doing my high stepping and just being so excited to be back here in the roar of the crowd. I went the opposite way. Thank God we didn't, Kingstone cop each other because it could have happened. But man, we were on fire that night. And I mean, it was great to hear the reaction from the people after being gone for 10 years. And the New Day doing what they're doing in the middle of the ring. A new tag team that is now, giving life, WWE's giving life to them, really pushing them to the moon. And now they're working with the Dudleys. It was like the old era meeting the new era.
I always say that if you really want to be able to feel a wrestling match, don't watch it. Listen to it. Listen to the crowd the night that me and D-Von make our return after 10 years in New York, in Brooklyn, at the Barclays Center. They go absolutely ballistic. I think the WWE was shocked to hear this response Because me and D-Von had been gone for 10 years, but just because we were gone didn't mean that we didn't conquer the world of tag team wrestling all over the world in other companies, All Japan, New Japan, TNA. People knew who we were. All me and D-Von had to do was put the camos back on and the glasses.
It's time!
Listen to the people screaming before we 3D'd Xavier Woods through the table. I mean, you can't ask for a better return.
The minute that him and I are in the ring together, the first thing that comes to mind is 3D. When they start chanting 3D, they know something's coming. And that's exactly what happened that night.
The most decorated team in WWE history, the 9-time WWE Tag Team Champions.
I really, really believe that God was guiding me. And it was only fitting that, you know, Bubba comes into ECW when he does, and then now I come into ECW the way I did, and then we reunite. First, we're at each other's throats, and now we're, you know, together beating the hell out and terrorizing the whole roster of ECW, including the fans. I don't think God would appreciate some of the things that were coming out of our mouths and what we were doing at the time, but I like to say we're the greatest tag team of our era. I think that's how that works, because unless we've taken on tag teams before us that have been great, you can't legitimately say that you're the greatest, but we can say we're the greatest of our era.
I'm extremely happy with the way our career went. This is exactly what I knew I wanted to do. I knew this is what we wanted to do. And nobody on the planet was able to stop us. Nobody. Every company that we worked for put their championships on us for a reason. Because we earned every last bit of it. I'm Bubba, he's D-Von. We're the Dudley Boyz. We're the most decorated and successful tag team in the history of professional wrestling. Then, now, forever.